I never said, come to me, I can do this for you. And I will tell anyone out there this. If you talk to someone, you go see someone, and they tell you what they can do for you in a certain amount of time, get up and walk out the door.
But I don't care how much weight, physical weight you lose. If you are carrying this heavy mental weight, you're going to continue to be stuck and are not going to grow and are going to go back to where you were before you even started.
I'm done with the brokenness. I'm done with those tools. All these new tools that God gave me. God is showing you over and over again that I got you. The universe, whoever you choose to believe, has shown you, I got you. If you decide to take your power back, I got you. But taking your power back is scary.
Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Lisa L. Campbell, the Growth Motivator, and I am back for another episode of the Growth Motivator Live. Today's episode focuses on a topic that is near and dear to my heart. If you've read my new book, Grow With Me, you should be familiar with Chapter 7. Chapter 7 focuses on weight, WEIGHT, and weight, WAIT. Throughout my life, I've had to wait, WAIT, for a lot of things. You'll have to read the book to learn more. Today, I am honored to have with me in our Growth Motivator studios, James Oscar Changes Lives. Hi, James.
Hey, Lisa.
How are you?
I have no complaints.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us today in the studio. I know that this topic is going to set a lot of people free because I know you're going to talk about some things that are going to give our listening and viewing audience some food for thought, literally some food for thought, and some words of wisdom based on your experience. So why don't you tell our listening, viewing audience who you are and who you serve?
So you want me to be, first of all, you want me to be bluntly honest?
Absolutely. I want you to be your authentic self because guess what? Authenticity is what sets people free. And maybe today they're not ready to receive it, but at some point they will be. You just be the messenger and let them deal with their own mess.
I like it. All right. James Oscar changes lives, and I just believe in serving the people that's ready for their change. It's not
Whoa.
easy. And serving the people that's willing and ready to just embark on their journey. And understand it's going to be new, it's going to be hard, and you have to decide to be courageous. It's one thing I've learned working with people. You have to decide to be courageous and own your journey, the new part of your journey. Because at every different season of your growth, it's a new journey. So if you're ready to own it, you can do some things, some amazing things.
You have taken my breath away because I was talking to my husband and a few of my friends about the current season that I'm in. And it's a season where I've gotten comfortable being uncomfortable. That's a scary place. It's so scary because the unknown that is in front of you, I'm just trusting and believing in my higher power that everything is going to work out. Some people can't go down that journey because they are afraid of what they can't see. So being comfortable, being uncomfortable is where I'm at.
See, I just feel that, and that's the beginning of the key of the process. Being willing to be uncomfortable. When I talk to people and they come and they say, well, I can't seem to find my purpose. I said, no, you can't seem to want to own your purpose. Don't tell me you can't find it. You don't want to own it. Because if I've had this thing where I sit with people, and a long time ago I developed a form and I revised it over the season, especially since the pandemic ended. I revised it, and I sit down with them and I say, okay, fill this out. And I say, it's gonna take us a little time, and we don't have a discussion. We don't go through every season of your life from adolescence. And I'm going to say, he showed you a tool there. He showed you a tool there. He showed you a tool there. So now all these tools go in your toolbox of life. Now, you don't have to open them. The tool you learned at 15, 16, they showed you don't have to own it. And the tools, some of the tools are broken tools. Some of the tools aren't the tools that you need down the road. Some tools are just lesson tools and they're broken. They come from the broken part of the journey. So you can't really use it. Not yet, because you're not strong enough to use it. It's a broken tool. But as you go on your journey, that's a valuable tool. But a lot of people aren't ready for that. So when they come and say, you're not unpacking. You're still carrying stuff. You're not using any of the tools that you've been given. I said you buried them because you're scared. You can't bury the broken tools. So you can label the tools as hurt, disappointment, anguish, and you get older, and I work with people and they're older, and I say, you're not ready. They say, I can't seem to get this movement of this. I said, it's not the movement. It's the hurt. Because if I don't look at you somewhere in between and beginning those 12 the first 32 times I work with you, sessions I work with you, and I don't see that breaking down, you're not ready for the journey. You're still pretending. Because you're scared to let the hurt go. Let it out. And then when I see that, I'm like, now you're ready.
So James, okay, I think what I've gathered is that those that are ready to work with you, you take them through a process and kind of really focusing on their mindset.
Yes.
Because what I heard you say is that mindset is what's holding them back, not their physical body.
Yes.
So I never really heard anyone unpack the process like you did. I think the process that most of us are familiar with, oh, it's January 1st. I want to join LA Fitness or all the different clubs that are out there. And I have these New Year's resolutions about how I'm going to lose the weight. And then the parking lot is packed. January, February, March, and then somewhere around April, folks supposedly either got their summer body or they fell off. And you know what I realized? The health clubs are smart because they got them on that automatic subscription payment. And unlike entrepreneurs like us, if our folks stop coming, they stop paying, but we're paying these big companies all of this money on a monthly basis, and they win and we lose because the number of people with heart attacks and strokes and diabetes continues to rise. So once you help them or their mindset starts to shift, the weight, not the physical weight, but the mental weight that they're carrying starts to disappear. How do you help them approach their employer about getting that time off or coming in later or leaving earlier to ensure that they're getting in their health and wellness journey?
Honestly, my part of helping people, some people may take this the wrong way. I choose not to work with those people. Because everyone, like when I first started, got out of school, and I was like, you gung ho. I used to do all the things. I'm gonna pull out this tape measure, calipers. I got it all. The electronic thing, when you hold it, tell your BMI. I've done it all. And people say, well, I want to say, why? Why? Number one, I tell people when I start working on it, you got a scale at home? They say, yeah. I said, take it to somebody else's house. Leave it there. I don't want to hear nothing about how much you weigh. Because that's not the weight I'm concerned about anyway. I could care less. I could. Oh, they say, well, you to take. Well, I said, listen, when you go home, put your panties, your bra on, your sports bra, whatever. Take you some pictures, back, front, side. They say you don't want. I said, what I want 'em for? I don't care. That's the industry created all that stuff to make money.
Wow.
The industry created all that. The industry created all these numbers, everything else. But I could care less about that weight. I say, what? So 3, 6 months down the line, we need to see your body changes. This we live in the age of social media. I say, excuse me, don't get offended, but I can go pull pictures of when you was fat. What I need to take pictures now for? And they look at me. I say, see, that's the problem. You want me to cater to your feelings. Well, catering to your feelings got you in this situation all along anyway. The part as adults, we want to be around people that cater to our feelings. I could give 2 cents about your feelings. I care about when you go to the doctor in 3 months and 6 months after being with me, your numbers look better. I care about the real stuff that no one ever talks about, that you're able to get out of the tub easier. You're able to stand and get up off the toilet easier without putting your hand on your sink. You're able to get out your car easier without looking like, Lord, somebody watching you saying, please don't let her fall. Please don't let him fall. Those are the real things that no Instagram posts, nobody ever wants to talk about. I say, no, I tell everybody when you start coming, don't tell anybody. Because the first thing people say, well, how much weight have you lost? They don't ask you, are you moving better? When you get up, do you feel better? If you're a teacher or somebody got to walk up 3 flights of stairs all the time, or a nurse or anything else, do you feel better? No one asks those real questions. And those things affect people mentally so much. They don't admit it. They're not going to admit it. But people, I see it in their faces when they're able to do stuff. If you drop a pen or a pencil on the floor, or you drop something on the floor, you're looking at it like, I got to get down and get that. Or they're calling their kid, Bobby, could you come pick this pencil up? Come pick this pen up. And they looking, and I'm taking the kids looking at you like, you start moving, I wouldn't have to pick that up for you. And that's truthful. So if you're not ready to accept your challenge, your personal journey, and use your gifts that God gave you the moment you was conceived and face it, then I don't want to work with you because you're going to frustrate me. I've had people tell me, well, I can pay you. I said, I don't care. That's number one, I don't charge enough to make it worth my time anyway.
This is heavy. This is
So I
heavy,
tell people, if
heavy.
I was to charge you what I should charge you, you wouldn't come to me anyway. Because no, I love working with everybody, but I chose to drink because I wanted to work primarily with our people, African American people, and people can take that how they want to. I really don't care. The fact that we don't put an importance on our health. We have people around us, they'll comment, oh, I love your new car. I love your hair. I love this. But they won't be honest with you and say, you're not looking good. What's going on? And then when I tell people know me, don't say something to me because I'm going to say it. I'm like, what you doing? Why you looking like this? Have you been eating the whole cow?
James, Oscar, listen, I can guarantee you there are some people who have turned this episode off, but I guarantee you there are some people who are being set free right now. Because you know what? You hit on something that I know from a personal perspective. As you know, about 10 years ago, I had a gastric sleeve procedure, and I lost about 180 pounds. And what was so weird, the number of people who said, "Ooh, you lost weight. Are you sick?" But those same people didn't say to me beforehand, "You're looking a little heavy, baby. You need to lose some weight." But those same people will comment on how small you've gotten and, oh, you look good. But I don't care how much weight, physical weight you lose. If you are carrying this heavy mental weight, you're going to continue to be stuck and are not going to grow and are going to go back to where you were before you even started, because you still got that weight, that mental weight that didn't allow you to change. And I'll use myself personally as an example. I have been, quote unquote, big for my size since I was in kindergarten. That's what I was told, right? The other kids were kind of shorter. I was taller, had, more hips and all of that. But when I lost the weight, I made a conscious effort to not go back there. Now, am I where I'm supposed to be? No, but I can admit that. And I know why I'm not there, because I had some mental weight that just kept holding me hostage, where I said, okay, I'm going to put my exercise on the schedule and not make it a priority. And I think a lot of people fall into that same place because they're trying to climb the corporate ladder. So they feel like, well, if I take off, or if I ask to come in later, if I ask to put my health first, that's going to prevent me from breaking the glass ceiling. Especially as a Black woman, breaking the glass ceiling is a constant battle, no matter how many degrees we have, no matter how much experience we have. But at the end of the day, if we are in a better physical position, we can handle whatever happened to us in the corporate space. So James, I know, because you worked in corporate space and I see you looking at me, and I said, it's a good thing this episode is only 30 minutes, because James would have us in here crying and boo-hooing. But what would you say to that corporate, we'll call him a corporate hero, who honestly is being held hostage by salary and benefits and has neglected them? What would you say the first step would be? Because everybody, first of all, some of the folks have already turned this off because they said, James, Oscar, how you changing lives and you talking to me that way? But you're right. We've been conditioned to the hold this machine here and it's going to give us your body fat and all of that. Okay, now get on the scale. Okay, now it's like you're getting a dress made, because we're going to measure your arms, and custom dress made, right? We're going to measure your arms and all your body part. And then every 3 months, we're going to keep looking at it. When the fact of the matter is, when you put your clothes on, you know that you lost weight in the first place. You don't need a measuring tape to tell you that. So what would you say to that corporate hero? They got the 6 figures. They got the nice car. They got all the things.
I can be blunt again? You want me to be blunt?
Listen, this is called the Tell It Like It Is, episode number 7.
I can't curse, right?
No, you can't curse. We can't curse because there might be some older folks, the church folks might be listening. So I need you to just give us just the King's English.
When people tell me that, and I've got some of those people currently. I mean, I've got, I deal with the 6-figure people and all that crap. So that's a bunch of bull crap. Because just like you walk into that environment, saying I'm going to show my best self, this or that, in the interview, again, I worked in HR. So when you walk in, they've already, before you even go, they didn't did your resume, look at all that. So they already know you. They want to see what you say. So either you're going to sell yourself and get it and complete the deal, or you're not. So when you walk in, they can look at you. If you're already taking care of yourself, they already know what's important to you. You ain't got to say it.
Wow. And you know what? And I'm just going to go here. I guarantee you that there are some individuals in certain nationalities, when they go in for the interview, they're going to say, I exercise from XYZ time to XYZ time every day. I'm not going to be able to do a meeting during those times, and it's accepted.
But you're nice. I'm saying it what it is. I can be blunt. Say it what it is. When they look at us, they're already saying that, oh, they don't care about their health. It's like when you go to the doctor. The doctor may not want me to may not like the way this sounds, but it's the truth if they admit it. When they look at our photo, they see African American, they see your numbers, first thing they're already thinking about what medicine to give you because they don't believe you're going to do the work. Every person I work with, and when they go back, the doctor's amazed that, wow, you're no. But the thing is, and this is a hard part right here for me, and it's hard for me to get people to see it. When they start to see that, but then when the people around them need them, because they're used to you filling the role that you play in their life, they don't care whether you start missing your sessions. They don't care. I had to tell someone recently, I say, it's 7 hours, 7 days a week, and I have figured it out, I can't remember right now, whatever, 7 hours, all those hours are. I'm asking 45 minutes to an hour of your time, depending on how close you are to me or where your job and you're coming to me, so say I got to do it, give me a minimum of 3 days a week. That's 3 hours. So it'll take you 45 minutes to get to me. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, a little under 6 hours. I have a 7-day week. But that impacts so many other aspects of your life. You can't find time for that. And a friend of mine told me decades ago, and I've never forgot it, and I use this example. She told me that you have to understand, you play a role in other people's life. It's your movie, but you relinquished too many starring roles.
Mm.
So now instead of you being the star, you're the co-star. And now when you start to decide, I want to be the star of my movie, the other people that they've been the star of your movie and you've been the co-star, they had an issue with that. And so a lot of times when people start that journey and they're succeeding at it, they're on it. But now the people that you're not a star, you're not starring in their movie anymore. Because they done rewrote the whole script of your movie. You know, went from the star to co-star. Sometimes you ain't even the co-star. And you gave them that power though. So now when they realize you taking that power back, you taking the pen back, that's the issue. And most people can't see that. And that's when I see people start to fall off. And they started giving me all these different excuses. And I was like, you took your power back. But now they're taking it back from you. And that goes back to when I said about those broken tools. You didn't decide that I'm done with the brokenness. I'm done with those tools. All these new tools that God gave me. God is showing you over and over again that I got you. The universe, whoever you choose to believe in, has shown you, I got you. If you decide to take your power back, I got you. But taking your power back is scary because it means those co-stars, you got to do a whole sequel and they can't be in the sequel. So are you ready to have those co-stars saying the negatives about you? Because they are going to do it. You're going to hear from other people what they're saying about you. And it's not going to be nice or pretty. And as we live in a society, everybody want to be accepted. If you want to be accepted, you can't change.
Mm.
If
Say that one more time for the people in the cheap seats.
If you want to be accepted, you can't change. If you're so heavy on being accepted, stop telling me you can't find your purpose. Because I tell people, I always look at the Bible as people say it's religious. I say, no, yeah, you can call it that. I look at the Bible as the best motivational book ever written. And I've told people, I said, you say you go to church already, right? So what you go, just to sit in the pew? Because every person that I ever seen that was used for magnificence, they had to be changed first. Their name was even changed. And they were set in the wilderness for a decent amount of time. And that's when I say all the time, and I've made some posts lately that if you aren't willing to sit, you can't hear nothing. And most people, they don't want to be in the wilderness because the wilderness is scary. I've been in the wilderness. It's scary. It's lonely. And I tell people, I've cried. I tell people, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I hadn't sat in the wilderness. And the wilderness is lonely. I've done, I tell people, I can say this. I've done my time sitting at the lounge bar. I've done my time just hanging out in environments that I shouldn't have been in. I had a time in my life where I always tell the story. I was buying cases of beer, a case of beer like every week, and that's not me. And then for like 6 months, I had neighbors, and they used to always like the barbecue on the weekend. And they was like, "Well, we was waiting for you to. We didn't go buy no beer because we was waiting for you to bring us some." Because I would go home and I would look. I was like, "What am I doing? This ain't me." And I did it routinely for months, and I would go take them the beer. And it's hard. I tell people I can talk about it because I've been there. In the wilderness season, when you're being prepared for something, it's not one time. Every season of growth, every season of elevation, it's a period of wilderness in there. And people, they're scared of it. And that's okay. But what you don't do with the fear. If you can do something with that fear and manifest it and make your peace with it, that's a beautiful thing.
You know what? I didn't know this episode was going to be this heavy. I knew he was talking about weight, WEIGHT, and waiting, WAIT. But I think that what you've done today is give so many of our listening, viewing audience literally some food for thought. So we are almost out of time. So I do want to ask you, for those that want to, let's just say, start off by following you, or working with you, because one of the things I've learned in entrepreneurship is that you have to attract those that are ready to work with you, need to work with you, and repel those that don't need to work with you. Because I guarantee you done sprayed some bug spray all over this episode, because there are some people who won't say, I don't like him, I don't want to work with him. And those are the folks that just not ready to work with you. But tell everybody how they can find you on social media.
Okay. James Oscar Changes Lives. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Type it in. I'll come up. Go to Lisa's stuff. I'll pop up. But most importantly, whether you come to me or not, and I tell people all this time, you don't have to come to me. That's not my journey. Universe and my higher power has shown me they got me. So the message for me, and people will tell you, if you go to any of my stuff, I never say, come to me, I can do this for you. And I will tell anyone out there this. If you talk to someone, you go see someone, and they tell you what they can do for you in a certain amount of time, get up and walk out the door. Because everybody's body is different. Everybody's journey is different. And they need time to spend time with you and listen to you. Because your journey that you've been through is going to manifest your journey that you're about to walk on. No one can tell you what they can do for you unless they listen to you talk about your journey.
Well, you know what? I love all of it. I know there are some folks that are saying, I'm not going to work with him, but you can work with me. I am the growth motivator, where I help individuals and organizations shed the weight that's holding them hostage with a focus on the mental aspects. And I can personally speak about that particular area because I've personally have been shedding my own weight that was holding me back. And now I am ready to help you. Well, James, thank you so much for joining me today. It has definitely been a conversation that I'm sure is going to lead to more conversations, because it was heavy. It was heavy in here today. I think this is the heaviest of the episodes for season number 1, but it definitely is a conversation that is much needed. And I just want to tell you this, you may disagree. There are some physicians out there that don't want to see us on all of these medications. And as a healthcare professional myself, the system is complex and they are under a lot of pressure to basically make sure that they can eat at the end of the day. Wrong, right, or indifferent. It's like you said, keep it real. I'm just keeping it real.
Oh, no. Can I say this?
Yes, you can.
No, I have friends that are doctors and nurses and everything else. And I get that. But when I say that about some doctors, they look at it, that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you have to be your own best advocate. I tell people all the time, after working with me or someone else for 3 to 6 months, you have to go in and be willing to say, can you start lowering the dosages on this medication? You have to be the advocate, and by doing that, it'll make your doctors, your practitioners see you in a different light. Same with your employers. When they see you're caring about your health differently, now you can start saying, well, I gotta get to my gym time. So if you don't, it's like anything in your life. If you don't show people that you care about it more, they won't act like they care about it.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what? This is so heavy. We're going to have to end here. James, we definitely will have to have you back in season number 2, because I think there are some folks that need to hear more, but they'll have to wait until season 2.
Well, I look forward to season 2.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today. Dr. Lisa L. Campbell, the Growth Motivator, signing off for today.